Okay, man, I finally got that new chip in. It just arrived, and I got to get this old one out right down in there. Now, there are 14 pins, and if I were going to save that chip, I would go to the bottom side like this, and there are 14 little soldering points right there. I would have to undo each one of those things, and you'd probably do one side and then the other, and slowly take the thing out, but that is entirely too much trouble for something we're not even going to save. So what I'm going to do is clip each one of these things and just take the whole thing out and then remove pins one by one. It's actually a lot easier that way. Hardest part about this is working around all the other components. 14 of these things. I'm just going to go around and undo them. Oh, you hear that cuckoo clock going. You get the idea. I said there were 14, there were 16. I got one side with all of them unclipped, and let's get the other ones. This one. There we go. Just get the whole thing up with that. Yeah, this guy's hard to grab. There it is. Old chip out, now I'll just desolder those pins one by one. Easy. We're looking at the bottom. I got a pair of pliers on the top holding the pin. I'm just going to melt the solder over here and pull the pin through. There it is. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah. Just do that 16 times and then we're done. Not hard. One tricky part is this little capacitor that bridges two of the pins. I'm going to have to remove it in order to get the new one in. Again, not difficult, just got to be done. And I'll put it back in later. That's all clear on this side, and I can tell, because when I come to this side, you see a bunch of light shining through all those holes. That's good. That's where the new chip's going to go. Yeah, I'm just going to bend a couple chips to pins, sorry, to keep it in place and get starting. Okay, when I started doing that, I did something actually a little wrong. I stopped. I went 1, 2, 3. What I really should be doing is this, where I do one in one area, then a different area, and between each time, I blow on it to cool it down. So here's a good example. Doing one. Then do a different one in a different area of the chip. That way the heat doesn't build up in any one part of the chip. And then take a break for about 15 seconds just to let stuff cool down. Then I do a conductivity test. Now if there's a connection, I get a beep. And you really don't want a connection between any of these pins. So I'm just going down the line. And if there's no sound, that's good. I go to the next one. That's okay, because it's the same one. And I just do this through the whole line. One. 2. What is that? Yep. Okay, moment of truth. Well, the stereo thing finally seems to be working, but I'm not getting any radio signal through. Maybe that wasn't the only problem. Yep, well, nah, problem's still there. I guess I'll keep working on it. Smoking gun. This transistor is super loose, and when I was touching it earlier, it was cutting in and out, and now it's cut out completely. So this is where the connection is really loose. You see how those are moving? I'm wiggling the transistor, and it should not be doing that. So really, what I'm going to start off doing was just kind of redoing the solders, seeing if that does the trick. All right, another moment of truth. Well, that's promising. Stereo thing still doesn't work right, but at least it's not doing its usual. I think that was the problem with the thing going crazy, but it's still not going stereo quite right. So I'll look into that.